Good morning, everyone. This is Rachel. Thank you for clicking on my video. And I came in today to talk about some of the things that I've been witnessing during this Republican convention. And more specifically, I wanted to talk about some statements that were made by a U.S. representative from the state of Iowa. This representative's name is Stephen King. And basically, he made a statement that really ticked me off, and it speaks to the tone of what is going on in the country. And I'm going to read his statement, and then I will explain what I mean by what I said. He says, this old white people business does get a little tired. I'd ask you to go back through history and figure out where are these contributions that have been made by these other categories of people that you're talking about. Where did any other subgroup of people contribute more to civilization? And basically what he's saying is that white people have contributed more to the history of civilization. Now, I started my video off by showing where civilization began. In Mesopotamia, which is now what we refer to as Iraq, and in Egypt, which is in northern Africa. Now, when I look at, some of the rhetoric and just the tone of the country right now, this is what they believe. We can even talk about what the Greeks contributed to the world, and just a host of other cultures, the Chinese. These people truly believe that they have done more to enrich the world than any other group in the history of civilization. And if we focus here in America and we talk about this thing of white versus black and them thinking that we're inferior to them and that we have not made any contributions to this country, then I asked them to look at the over 300 years of free labor that they received during slavery. Now, you had a workforce that you did not pay, and you became rich off the backs of slaves. Now, in my opening, I put in that these people are ignorant, or either they just choose to ignore history. I mean, these are facts. This is not made up. White people are not, and I repeat, are not the greatest contributors to the history of the world. If you look at the people over in Iraq and over in northern Africa, those are people of color. Know your history, people. We don't learn this in high school and middle school and elementary. If you go to your first history class in college, these are the things that you learn. These people here in America, these white people here in America, are so just believing that they are the be-all to end-all. And while they were lumbering in caves, other civilizations were thriving. They were writing and, storing away records. Because if you think about it, we're finding all of these artifacts from ancient Egypt and ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Those were people of color. They look like these Iraqi people, these Egyptian people that we see nowadays. You also can't discount the contributions that the The Chinese made to history. Nowhere in there is there a white person. Chinese people are people of color as well. They are not considered white. I get so tired of that. And then getting back to America, you can't discount all the inventions that African Americans have contributed to America. But you know what the problem is? There is no appreciation of our contributions, no talk of it when you're in school and you're learning. I look at the tone of the country right now and it disgusts me. America is a very hypocritical place. They are a very racist place. The world right now is looking at us. There is a spotlight on America and the treatment of African Americans and other minorities here in this country. The world sees us. And if you've ever traveled outside of the country and actually sat down and spoken to someone of another country about their views on America, they're not dumb to what's going on here. They know that, America is a very prejudiced and racial place. Do you know that right now that how we put travel warnings, to other countries, that other countries who have men of color are telling them to beware when you go to America, what all to do and not to do for these police not to stop them and murder them? Did you guys know that? I had a chance when I was younger, and I tell this story in other videos, to travel to Europe and just travel all around Europe. America makes you believe that when you go outside of this country that these other places are backwards and uncivilized. That is so far from the truth that it's almost laughable. America, when you go outside of this country, off this continent, you realize how new America is. The first thing that I did, or I noticed when I stepped off the plane, is Europe was here way before there was an America. You are walking through castles and just historic things that have been around longer than what America has existed. I get so tired of white people. I'm trying not to hate. I'm trying not to sully my soul hating them and all that they stand for, so I don't send my soul to heaven. To hell. But at this point, I get so tired of this bullshit that they talk. When I was over in Europe, I was walking around thinking, oh my God, we are very new America. Look around. I would actually, when I was walking around, I was saying to myself, I feel a little different. I'm in a foreign country, but hey, I would love to live here. It is absolutely beautiful. I wasn't treated, like an inferior person. I actually felt really proud of my skin color over there. People were very nice to me. Men were very flirty. And it was just a different feeling being in another country. America has never gotten past their original shame. They have never gotten past it. They won't face up to the fact that they enslaved an entire race of people. And they took and stole everything that we contributed to America and called it their own. You have to be a very diligent person and find out your history, because it's not written in those history books. My grandfather used to call it his story. Pick up a history book today. Ask one of your high schoolers or your middle schoolers, can you take a look at their history book? And find any segments in there, or chapters for that matter, about slavery. What you will find is maybe a couple pages, and in some maybe a couple paragraphs. I didn't start really understanding the depth of slavery and what it did to the African Americans in this country until I went to college and I started taking college courses that delved deeper into the history of slavery and how it made America rich. You had an unpaid slave workforce for over 300 years. That is what brought America to what it is now. You can't discount Chinese people coming here and building railroads. You can't discount that. You can't ignore it. Those are the facts. So this thing that white people contributed, everything that goes on in the world, these people are the most disillusioned group of people that I've ever seen in my life. My God. Go over to Rome. Look at the Colosseum. Look at all the things that Greeks have contributed to language and just everything. Look at the Chinese and look at that empire and all that they built. It is just so amazing. Think of what the Egyptians have done with mummies. And we're finding mummies now, thousands of years later. The mummification process, they can't even duplicate nowadays. Look at all the things that the Egyptians and the Romans and the Greeks, look at all of the things that they built that are still standing to this day. We have houses that are built nowadays that crumble and fall apart. Go over to Europe and look at some of those castles that are still standing today. And you want to tell me that white people are the greatest contributors to the civilization of the world? When we speak of the Egyptians, do they not realize that Egypt is on the continent of Africa? Those people were not white. I am so tired of what's going on. It's so much hatred in America, so much divisiveness that it actually makes me ill. I have a friend, I was telling my son last night, I have a friend that is seriously, and when I say seriously, considering moving to Canada. She and her husband have gone over, they've looked at homes and schools, and they are seriously considering moving to Canada. They are so sick of what is going on in America. And they said that if they could get further away, they would. They have decided, you know, enough is enough. I am done with America. I just don't know where, you know, all this stuff with Donald Trump is going to lead us. Seriously, people, Hillary may not be, you know, the greatest politician in history, but the alternative is actually terrifying. Donald Trump is a bigoted, racist joke, if you ask me. He knows nothing about anything. You know, his wife just got on television and literally plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech. I mean, you don't do your research, your background. Who wrote the speech? Where did they get it from? People, this is the world. This is the America that we live in. Open your eyes. It is more than just them killing our people and unjustly treating us unfairly. You know, the injustices against us. There is a lot going on in America right now. A whole lot. We're slipping back. We're losing ground. And we got to wake up. I'm so sick of my people, you know, talking shit but never doing anything and not being aware of what's going on. I have family members that are getting on Facebook and, showing their outfits of the day and that they're doing this. They're not even paying attention to what's going on in the world. And I want to slap the hell out of them because they are so unaware. I had a family member years ago when Barack Obama was running for president, and basically she just went in and voted for the president but didn't vote anything else on the ballot. She checked Barack Obama and left. And my mother told her, do you know that he needs the rest of that ballot to help him in his presidency? She wanted to say, you ignorant bitch. We talk about, what they're not doing, how they're treating us. Go vote. Register to vote. Serve on juries. Do your job here. This is why they're allowed to do what they do, because we talk a good game, but we don't do anything as a people. I didn't even want to turn this, video into an attack on my people. That's not what I'm trying to do, because like I said, I love being black and I love my people. I just want us to wake up. Just wake up, people. And with that, thank you for watching the video. Stay vigilant. Look at what's going on. Keep your eyes open, because this climate that we're in right now, this is very dangerous. You guys have a great day.